Welcome to Chroma Celebs. I'm Rose, bringing you the latest shocking updates on Sister Wives. Unexpected twists, emotional moments, and unbelievable drama. Stay tuned till the end. In a newly released exclusive clip that has ignited fervent discussions across social media, Sister Wives patriarch Kody Brown makes what many fans are calling his most vulnerable and bold confession to date regarding his wife Robyn Brown. The moment, captured ahead of the upcoming season's tell-all special, marks a turning point in the ongoing unraveling of the Brown family dynamic. For a show that has documented the tumultuous shifts within this once unified polygamous family, Kody's raw admission cuts through years of emotional restraint, defensiveness, and fragmented storytelling. The confession, delivered with surprising calm and clarity, isn't just about affection or preference. It is a blunt acknowledgement of how deeply his emotional compass has been tied to Robyn, particularly in the wake of his deteriorating relationships with his other wives, Christine, Yanel, and Meri. The clip opens with Kody seated alone, speaking directly to the camera in one of the most introspective moments ever seen on Sister Wives. His tone is reflective, almost heavy, as if the words had been living beneath the surface for years, waiting for permission to finally surface. "I know people say I play favorites," Kody begins, pausing as if even he needs to weigh the gravity of what's about to come next. "And the truth is, I probably do. I love Robyn differently. Maybe even more deeply. And that's something I've fought for a long time because I didn't want to admit it. Not to myself, not to the cameras, not to anyone." The admission is stunning, not because fans haven't speculated about it for years, but because this is the first time Kody himself has publicly acknowledged the emotional chasm that exists between his relationship with Robyn and the rest of his plural marriage. What's even more striking is that the clip does not come from a heated argument or an emotional breakdown, but from a space of reflection. Kody's words carry the kind of finality that suggests he has made peace with what many of his former wives and viewers have sensed for seasons. Robyn, often portrayed as the most emotionally connected to Kody and the most monogamously situated within a plural marriage, has long been the source of speculation and division among fans. Her presence has been at the epicenter of the family's splintering, though she has consistently denied being the cause. But Kody's confession reshapes the narrative. By admitting that his love for Robyn stands apart, perhaps even above, the love he held for Christine, Yanel, and Meri, he acknowledges a hierarchy that the family spent over a decade insisting did not exist. The confession has sparked a tidal wave of responses online. Longtime viewers of Sister Wives took to platforms like Reddit, X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram to express a range of emotions, from validation and outrage to sympathy and heartbreak. Some fans commended Kody for finally telling the truth, however painful it might be. Others criticized the timing and the damage done, questioning why it took so long for him to admit what they believe has been painfully obvious for years. Christine Brown, who famously left Kody in 2021 after years of feeling emotionally neglected, had often alluded to feeling like a lower priority in Kody's life. Her exit marked the first true fracture in the Brown family, setting off a domino effect that eventually saw Yanel emotionally and physically distancing herself from Kody and Meri left navigating the ruins of a deeply disconnected relationship. In retrospect, Kody's confession casts a long shadow over the final years of those relationships, framing them not as mutual dissolutions but as consequences of a singular emotional focus. In her post-split interviews, Christine frequently referenced feeling unseen and unheard by Kody, and fans now view her statements through a sharper lens. Yanel, too, expressed exhaustion and frustration at feeling like her marriage was a one-sided effort. Even Meri, who remained legally married to Kody for decades before their official divorce, noted a deep emotional chasm that never healed. Kody's words seemed to validate their experiences, confirming that while each wife was once part of a shared spiritual journey, his heart had shifted long ago and Robyn was its destination. Throughout the exclusive clip, Kody appears to wrestle with the implications of his own realization. "It wasn't always like this," he says at one point, almost as if to defend the younger version of himself who once embraced the challenges of plural marriage with optimism and purpose. "I truly believed I could love them all equally. I believed that was the goal. But somewhere along the way, things changed. Life changed. I changed." These words, though softly spoken, land like thunderclaps. They signal an evolution, not just of Kody's emotional state, but of the entire philosophical foundation on which the Brown family's lifestyle was built. Polygamy, as the family practiced it, was rooted in balance, equality, and spiritual unity. Kody's confession openly dismantles that framework, replacing it with a human, deeply flawed narrative of favoritism, regret, and emotional divergence. Robyn has yet to publicly respond to the clip, but her role in recent seasons has been one of visible strain. She has often been reduced to tears in scenes where Kody vents about betrayal and disloyalty from his other wives. She has also seemed increasingly isolated, despite technically being the only remaining active partner in Kody's plural marriage. Whether this confession brings her relief, guilt, or both remains to be seen. What's clear, however, is that she now carries the emotional weight of Kody's full focus, an experience that may feel more burdened than blissful. The Tell-All special, which promises to dive deeper into the fallout from Kody's confession, is expected to feature responses from each of the former wives. Early previews hint that Christine's reaction is one of quiet validation, while Yanel reportedly expresses a mix of relief and frustration. Meri, who has often remained the most enigmatic and least expressive among the wives, is said to offer a powerful and unexpected perspective that could further challenge the audience's view of the family's past. For longtime viewers of Sister Wives, Kody's confession is a moment of both closure and reckoning. It closes the door on years of ambiguity and excuses, but it also opens a wound that may never fully heal. The series, which began with a hopeful mission to destigmatize polygamy and showcase the power of family, now stands as a chronicle of emotional truth, evolving beliefs, and the hard reality of human imperfection. Producers of the show, in releasing the clip, appear to understand the magnitude of the moment. It's not just another reality TV soundbite, it's the crystallization of a story arc that has spanned over a decade, involving 18 children, 5 adults, multiple households, and endless speculation. Kody's words don't just answer a question, they redefine the central narrative of Sister Wives itself. The confession also raises deeper questions about the emotional capacity of plural marriage. Can one man truly love multiple women equally? Was that ever realistic, or was it a romanticized ideal that eventually collapsed under the weight of real emotions? Kody's journey, once a symbol of faith-driven balance, now reads like a cautionary tale of what happens when the heart insists on monogamy within a structure designed for multiplicity. In the hours following the clip's release, TLC's official social media accounts saw record engagement. The comments sections overflowed with passionate reactions. Some viewers demanded accountability, calling out the emotional damage Kody caused to Christine, Yanel, and Meri. Others sympathized with Kody's humanity, suggesting that perhaps he too was a victim of an unsustainable dream. And a third group shifted focus entirely to Robyn, questioning what life will look like for her now that the illusion of equality has officially been shattered. As Sister Wives marches toward what may be its final season, Kody's confession becomes the story's defining moment, a line in the sand that separates the past from the future. The man who once claimed he could lead a balanced, spiritual, polygamous family has now publicly acknowledged that his heart chose otherwise. That truth, however delayed, reshapes not only how fans view the show but how the Browns themselves might begin to tell their stories going forward. In the full tell-all episode, which airs this coming Sunday, viewers will finally witness the fallout of this bold confession in real time. Whether Kody will continue to embrace his emotional truth or attempt to backpedal under pressure is unknown. What is certain, though, is that this clip has forever altered the legacy of Sister Wives and the man who once stood at its center. In a moment of unfiltered honesty that has left fans of Sister Wives reeling, Christine Brown, the former third wife of Kody Brown, has opened up about one of the most intimate and emotionally charged topics in the history of the TLC series, her sex life with her ex-husband. The revelation came during a recent interview tied to promotional appearances for the next season of Sister Wives, and it instantly struck a chord with viewers who have followed Christine's journey from loyal plural wife to independent, empowered woman who has stepped away from the emotional weight of a collapsing marriage. Christine's words were not shouted, not delivered in anger, and not embellished for sensationalism. Instead, they arrived with the quiet authority of someone who has carried a private truth for too long and has finally decided to speak it aloud, not for drama but for closure. Her verdict on the subject was both candid and heartbreaking. In her words, the sex life she shared with Kody was sad, a term she chose carefully but did not attempt to soften. The use of that single word carries enormous emotional gravity. Sad encapsulates more than just a physical disconnect. It speaks to unreciprocated affection, emotional absence, unmet needs, and a profound sense of loneliness inside what was meant to be a loving, shared spiritual union. For a woman like Christine, who entered the marriage with the sincere belief that plural love was both noble and spiritually fulfilling, admitting that the most intimate aspect of her marriage had become hollow is a declaration filled with sorrow but also power. Christine's willingness to go public with such a deeply personal truth marks a dramatic shift in the overall tone of Sister Wives. For years, the series maintained a narrative that emphasized the spiritual and familial unity of the Brown family, showcasing their plural marriage as a strong if unconventional structure. But as Christine began to break away from the family structure, physically moving back to Utah and then announcing her legal separation from Kody, the cracks in that narrative became undeniable. Now, her admission about their intimate life casts a shadow that stretches back over many seasons, offering painful context to what fans witnessed, a once smiling Christine gradually becoming quieter, more frustrated, and visibly lonely. In the same conversation, Christine elaborated on how the lack of intimacy wasn't simply about physical needs, it reflected a deeper emotional neglect. She described the repeated attempts she made to bridge the growing emotional distance, only to be met with indifference, coldness, or outright avoidance. The emotional starvation, she explained, began long before the physical connection fully dissolved. Over time, the lack of affection began to reshape her view of the relationship altogether. It was not just that intimacy disappeared, it was that she felt undesired, unvalued, and ultimately unloved. When viewers think back to past seasons, Christine's heartbreak now seems clearer than ever. The laughter that once bubbled to the surface in early seasons had all but disappeared by the time she made her departure. The woman who once glowed with pride over her growing family and her role in a complex household had become resigned, even stoic. Her attempts to communicate her needs, both emotional and physical, were either minimized or ignored by Kody, whose attentions had increasingly centered around Robyn. Christine's emotional withdrawal was not sudden. It was the end result of years of being emotionally shut out. The silence around their sex life had been a notable feature of the show. While other reality TV programs often sensationalize or exploit romantic dynamics, Sister Wives always approached the topic with a degree of modesty and privacy that mirrored the family's religious values. This made Christine's recent decision to speak so openly about the lack of connection all the more powerful. Her words were not meant to humiliate Kody, but to illuminate the emotional reality that so many women face in long-term relationships where intimacy has faded but responsibilities remain. It was a moment of unvarnished truth, and viewers responded in kind. Within hours of the clip airing, fan forums, subreddits, and social media platforms exploded with commentary. Many fans expressed a mix of sadness and admiration, sadness for Christine's years of unmet needs and admiration for her bravery in speaking the truth. "We saw it coming," one fan wrote, "but hearing her say it out loud was like a gut punch." Another commented, "She didn't say it to be mean, she said it to be free." Across all platforms, Christine's name trended as viewers revisited past episodes with a new lens, connecting the dots between subtle on-camera moments and the painful reality she had been living. This confession is not just a personal milestone for Christine, it's also a significant moment in the cultural narrative surrounding plural marriage. For years, Sister Wives attempted to showcase the viability of plural unions, even when societal norms and personal dynamics challenged that vision. Christine's exit and her increasingly open commentary about why she left is now redefining the show's legacy. It suggests that equality within plural marriage may be harder to achieve than originally portrayed. The unspoken hierarchies, emotional favoritism, and the lack of individual intimacy that Christine experienced reveal deeper systemic problems within the arrangement. Christine's strength lies not just in leaving the relationship, but in how she has chosen to articulate her journey since then. Her public comments about her sex life and more broadly about her emotional life have not been bitter or vindictive. Rather, they are steeped in the wisdom of someone who has processed years of pain and emerged on the other side with clarity. Her emphasis is not on casting blame but on acknowledging what went wrong so that she and others watching can move forward in truth. What makes this moment even more poignant is how it contrasts with Christine's present-day life. Since her separation from Kody, she has found new love, a new home, and a sense of joy that had long eluded her. She has been candid about how transformative it feels to be with someone who listens, engages, and desires her as a whole person, not just as a mother or household manager but as a woman. Her face lights up in recent interviews, her laughter has returned, and her energy feels unburdened. This makes her earlier experience with Kody even more stark. What was once sad is now replaced with fulfillment, reminding viewers that life after heartbreak can be abundant and real. Christine's admission has also drawn subtle but noticeable reactions from the rest of the Brown family. Kody, when asked about her comments, appeared visibly uncomfortable, at times defensive, and at others simply resigned. He did not directly refute her claims but instead offered vague reflections about how relationships evolve and how emotional disconnection can affect every part of a marriage. His lack of a passionate rebuttal was, to many fans, further confirmation that Christine's version of events aligns with reality. Robyn, often seen as the most emotionally connected to Kody, has remained mostly silent about Christine's claims. Some speculate that the silence speaks volumes. Others believe Robyn is navigating the complexity of being perceived as the central figure in the unraveling of Kody's other relationships, a perception that Christine's comments may further reinforce. Meanwhile, Yanel and Meri have responded with sympathy, with Yanel reportedly expressing admiration for Christine's courage in speaking about such a personal topic and Meri, as usual, choosing a more cryptic public approach, leaving fans to interpret her Instagram posts and interviews for hidden meanings. The ripple effects of Christine's statement are far from over. Viewers are now eagerly anticipating the next season of Sister Wives, where producers have promised more revelations and deeper exploration into the emotional fallout of Christine's departure. Her comments about her sex life may be a key talking point in the upcoming Tell-All special, where the rest of the family will have the chance to respond and reflect. If the past is any indication, the tension will be palpable, but Christine's calm fortitude is likely to steal the spotlight. What Christine has done, perhaps without intending to, is shift the framework of Sister Wives from a show about plural family logistics to a show about emotional truth. Her journey is now one of personal empowerment, breaking the silence around issues that often go unspoken, not just in plural marriages but in many traditional ones as well. In doing so, she has given voice to countless women who have suffered in silence, wondering if they're alone in their pain, if their needs are unreasonable, or if their longing for emotional and physical intimacy is somehow selfish. Christine's message is clear: those needs are human and they matter. As Christine continues to thrive in her post-Kody life, her voice grows louder, more confident, and more resonant. Her fans, many of whom feel like they've grown up with her over the past decade, celebrate her not just for her honesty but for her transformation. She has emerged not as a cautionary tale, but as an icon of liberation, showing that even the saddest chapters of a love story can be followed by new beginnings full of light.